So let's cover a few things first, if you don't mind. Number one, next week will be the return of Rene. So Wari will be returning. I know you all missed seeing him. I missed having him. So he should be front facing next week, next Thursday, same time. And of course, as you know, whenever he shows up, who knows what might happen? It might be revealing information. It might be him giving me information and saying, reveal this, but don't reveal that, and I reveal both. Who knows? But that is hype. Yeah. We defo clap for that. We clap for that. Yeah. So Harane will be here next week for that. And that'll be a good time. We are also going to have future special guests sometime after that from the community. Maybe people you've already seen, and maybe some newcomers as well. But that will remain to be seen. So make sure, as always, I mentioned it in the announcements section of the Discord. Please make sure, if you haven't done so already, to mind the event sections of the Discord. So in the Discord, if you go to the events section, it'll tell you what event is happening, which it repeats every week, the stream. But in case there are very specific details about that stream, you can read about it ahead of time once they are put in there. More importantly, you can click a little reminder in there. So if you don't know about the stream weekly time, or you forget about it and it turns into like an, oh yeah, I forgot about that thing, you don't have to worry about, oh yeah, I forgot about it. You can just click the link in the events and sign up that way. That'd be nice. It'll be consistent. And it should make your life a lot easier, which in turn makes my life a lot easier. And I love that. The third item on the menu is, yeah, I know, Grish. I know. Imagine forgetting about a weekly stream. I don't know. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't. Speaking of forgetting things, though, the third item on the list is that there is a new creative contest up right now in the Discord section. You may recall last month we had our holiday-based one built around the Steam Dwarf and the holiday period. And many of you involved yourself in that contest, and we thank you for it. There is another one, and we brought it up last week. We're going to bring it up again just to make sure everyone sees it. If you didn't see it, if you go to the Discord and go to the Creative Corner section, you will see a whole detailed listing about it in there from Rusty. But just to read it out loud, I have to tell you, that strange steam dwarf in red clothing on its flying gyro beer machine brought a little something to me. Gyro beer. But there was something else. Right, a note. The liquid meadows lying dormant, many ponds covered with ice. It's aqua used to melt the frosting that creatures live that would be nice. I'm pretty much overwhelmed by that question, so I'm asking you being all of you, and me, hence us. Are the children of the source wielding their magic to constrain the ice, or do they use it for fun, to have a little distraction from Sorgoth's wrath? Vote for submission and everything else. But the same thing happens. Now we're looking to find a way to utilize our creative aspects to do something involving the children of the source. Which is exciting because, as you all know, the next addition to the game is going to be Liquid Meadows and the Children of the Source. So this is your opportunity in the Discord to use your creative juices. You know, the same way you can practice story writing by just writing. You brainstorm, you write. You practice art by doing art. And this is the same way. So you can involve yourself in that contest through a short story, a poem, a quick drawing, a sculpture, a creation of some sort, a Lego creation, the same way that Greece wants to be paid in Legos. All of you can do that. So if you truly think that Rusty is the best mod, you can support the best mod by taking part in the contest. And just like last month, I will be taking part in the contest as well. So you can look forward to that. just to show that we all could do it. The fourth thing that I want to bring up this week is, instead of utilizing the stream to bring on a guest or to drop a leak or to have Rene here or to utilize the gameplay or to build a town together, I wanted to use this as kind of like an open floor setting, because it's my job as community manager to make sure that I'm getting feedback from all of you, even though we can do so exchanging information in channels like social media, in Discord. We can do it in game. We can do it through Steam. We can do it through Steam reviews. We can do it through YouTube and the YouTube comments. I want to do it on stream. Okay? Since we're all here. That way you don't have to worry about typing in one particular section or if it gets seen. So I'm going to take some notes here, and then I'll pass this along to everyone else in the team in terms of the state of Coreborn, the things that you like, the things that you would like to see. And none of this is a Q&A session, because it's not that. This is not a Q&A session. This is not meant to be a leak session. So in case you were going to ask things like, I'm just kind of guessing right here, in case you're going to ask things like, when's the next patch? What's in it? What's the next event? When are expeditions? You know, just small things I'm thinking of right now that no one else has brought to the fold. Not Q&A section. I want to use this as an ideal roundtable based on the experience you have at Coreborn so far. And let's say based on the last month and a half, or even the last month, the things that you really enjoy and things that you think are areas of opportunity, things that you would really enjoy seeing, things that you'd be like, you know what? Oh yeah. For example, because the thing is, I'm a part of the experience too. So for me, one of the things that I would really enjoy is, just to give you an example, I would like it if in Coreheim there was a bulletin board, and if you walked up to the bulletin board and clipped it, or not clipped it, if you walked up to it and clicked it, it gave you a listing of the most recent patch notes, like the last 5. I think that would be overwhelmingly cool. So in case you're not reading the blog, or you're not checking the patch notes in the update, or you're not checking it in the Steam discussions, or you're not checking it in the Discord announcements, maybe you don't do all that, you just log in and play the game, which is fine. You can log in, play the game, you go to Coreheim, and there's a patch notes bulletin board. You walk up to it, you click it, and then it brings up a little small UI window that shows you what the most recent patch is, when it was, and maybe what the last 3 updates were in terms of small upgrades. Me as a player, I would love that. I would love that not only if I was keeping track of all the content, but also if I just wanted a reminder without having to tab out of the game and load it up somewhere else. And I think it would give people more reasons to go to Coreheim and to station themselves in Coreheim and be present in Coreheim. A bunch of folks gathering around the bulletin board and looking right there. I don't want to press F1 for patch notes. Plus, that'll make F1 get too crowded. Just having patch notes over and over again in the F1 menu and scrolling. Ugh. You will like more group content. So, Greece, tell me about that. You would like more group content. Example. What do you mean by that? And this is open to everyone too. So anyone who was here earlier, the Spatas, the MKs, the Robozorf, the Shimmers, the Shakiras, everyone else. Dungeon with the 2 chests. like the like a Mario guessing game, like a magic trick. You walk up and you look up in two chests and go, which one do I open? One explodes and KOs me, and one gives me treasure. Group dungeons would be nice. Group dungeons, hello, Paul, by the way. The idea of what you're looking to accomplish is something that's on the roadmap. So that's kind of in the ropes, you know what I mean? It's in the process. You know what I mean? Mostly kind of, sort of. Right there. In case you haven't seen the Coreborn roadmap, there it is. And if you look on there, you can see that Q1 2024, which is the time period we're in right now, we're looking to bring in expeditions. And that will involve the kind of thing you're looking to do in terms of having group outings and doing group things together for cooperations. Like a riddle? I don't know, Dark. You tell me. Give us the chance to queue up with randoms like the game or a group and have some repeatable content, like expeditions. Okay, cool. So you're telling me the things that we already have in the roadmap, but what else is there? Like, think about when you play the game and you look around and you wonder to yourself, you know, it'd be nice if they had this. It'd be cool if they had that. Hello, Dr. Sharky, by the way. Welcome back. Even things that sound outrageous. Like, for me, another thing that I think that sounds outrageous and probably will never happen is I would like it if there was an alternate color to the lamppost. So the same way we have the candle stands and it glows with the little soft, yellow orange flame, it'd be kind of neat if it was a blue flame instead, just to add some different kind of lighting to the area. So it's not all just hues and gradients of yellow and orange that light up your town center area when it does get dark. You know what I mean? Remove the map. All right, so I'm going to ignore Greece and everyone else who has an idea. Would it be a thing to collect resources across servers to build stuff in this survival map altogether that is then added for everyone? Oh. I see what you mean. So let's say, for example, there is, just guessing, on the southern mountains. Actually, you know what? Even better. If you go to the Mossies to the west, near the waterfalls, where you can go to one of the vendors, the elevator over there, right? The non-functional elevator. It would be cool if people gathered resources across all the servers to make the elevator work. It could be time-based as well. So the elevator's not working right now. It doesn't even exist. But if people across all servers gather 20,000 lightwood, 5,000 shrivelwood, and 4,000 stone, and 4 million resin, right? Then that elevator becomes functional for every single server once the goal is met. And maybe it stays active for 2 weeks. And then after the 2-week period, it becomes non-functional again. You have to regather the resources. I like that. Pal. That's a great idea. Cross all servers. Okay. Okay. Got it. Cool. Good idea. Got it written down. Love it. Good feedback. That's one bunk, Dr. Shark. I think the goal is 3, so you're doing great so far. Dark, I love how your reaction to it. It's just a little bobber. A little bobbin. Like, hey, great idea. Bobba. How about a buff for everyone who contributed? I don't mind that. But I think you would have to set a threshold. It couldn't be, you need 20,000 lightwood. I gave 1. So now I get a plus 5% bonus to gathering epic resources. But if you contribute a certain substantial amount, right? A minimal threshold. If you contributed this much, you get this buff for that duration. But only if you reach that level. I ain't using your head grease. I like that. I like that. I want to say there's no such thing as bad ideas, but that may not be true today. But that is a good idea. Need a minimum threshold. Okay. Okay, cool. I like that. I like that. Just came back from the silent place. Did I hear cross server? No. No, Sparta. We're talking about different ideas. Things that you would like to see implemented in Coreborn. Reasonably implemented in Coreborn to enhance your gameplay experience. Bad idea, give Dr. Sharky an in-game bonk hammer to kill me. I think if we give Dr. Sharky an in-game hammer, it should be the one from Donkey Kong, which is later on mimicked in Smash Brothers. The one that goes boop 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 boop. Where the minute it touches your hurt box, it goes pew, and you get sent flying off into the air. Dr. Sharky equips it. It starts slamming up and down. She hits you with it, and it knocks you all the way across the entire map. And then it gives you a debuff where you're not allowed to KO yourself to get back to your town faster. You have to walk back. Hello, Blawball. Is there still a Dark is the Night soundtrack update coming? I can check with that. I can talk with Alex about that, actually. I know I said no questions and answers, but I like that. Good question. Good question. I'm trying to think what else. Another thing that I would like the ability to put down signs. Just like you can in Minecraft. You know, in Minecraft, you can put down signs. You can either put it on the side of a building, or you can put it down, if you're creative, by itself with a holder behind it to indicate certain things. So, for example, if you make a makeshift bar in your town, you could put a sign next to it that says Sparta's Tavern. Only visible when you click up and can read it, right? Like there's a default graphic for it, but you walk up to it, you click E or whatever, and then it tells you this is Sparta's Tavern. I think that'd be a good way to really bring to life things you're trying to accomplish in the town in terms of identity, in terms of figuring out what belongs where and what is what. I think that would be a good idea. What else? I would also like, I'm spitballing my own ideas out loud, just to, like, if any of you are shy about your own ideas, just this is the way that I think when I think about quality of life improvements. I would like the ability to set down pathing between different locations in my town center. The same way if you were playing, let's say, Roller Coaster Tycoon, how you can create dirt paths to give the guests a direction to follow to rides. I would like the ability to have a dirt path that can take you from, let's say, where a doorway begins to the edge of your town center, or to the entrance to another town center location within your town center space. So a lot of you like the RP servers that have these massive holds, these massive castles. It'd be cool if you can create pathing and roads to each location made out of different materials. Maybe you can have a cobblestone path, a dirt path, a muddy path if you want to, with little wet shoe sounds when you walk across it, things like that. Alpha Day on the 2nd of March, everything built would get reset, but there's no stability system. Yikes. That's rough, man. It's a little rough. A little rough. Let's see, let's write this down too. Pathing between areas and buildings to create roadways. Maybe different materials like cobblestone or dirt and etc. Goodbye 60 FPS. Yeah. What about you, Shakira? You have any ideas? Is there anything where you're in Coreborn, you're building your town center, and you think to yourself, it'd be kind of cool if I had this? Anything that's not currently listed on the roadmap, or things that have been discussed already. So if you look on the roadmap and you look at the idea bucket, fishing is on there, farming is on there, a marketplace auction house is on there. So that's all on there as well. But anything beyond that? Dr. Sharky says a hot tub and all furniture interactable, so you can actually lie in bed and sit on the chairs. So I agree. That's one of the things that I have seen mentioned before, and it's one of the things that I've mentioned in my own streams before, is especially for the RP community, right? You want to be able to sit down. And I think recently on social media, there was someone who asked that as well, because I had taken a small video, I think, of the tavern in Piper's Whistle. And they asked if we could sit down with the guest, and we can't. And like me, I love sitting down at different places. I play games, and I see the option to sit down. I sit down. I like sitting down in games. Or my bed. The cool beds that I have in my home, I want to lay down on them. Now, of course, you can't lay down in advance of time because the server is shared with everybody. Wouldn't it be funny, though? Every time someone lays down in their bed and chooses the sleep option, the entire server advances the day-night cycle. So people who wonder if night is too short, you would just have a bunch of people sleeping during the daytime to make it night all the time. Like everyone just lives in Gotham. Good idea, Shark. Cool. Got that down. So, great stuff so far. Dr. Sharky, Blauball, Pauspra, and Gris. Good stuff so far. Trying to think of what else. What else would be significant? What else would be helpful? What's the thing when you're playing the game you wish it was there? Shroom Train? Not this again. Not Shroom Train again. It always comes back to Shroom Train. At least once a month we come back to it. You want fast travel between your level 30 towns. You know, it's funny you bring up the idea of level 30 towns. I know it's because it's the cap, but Shakira, it makes me wonder if fast travel becomes an option, it should be at a certain threshold. So you can't fast travel between level 1 stations because then you could just make 5 level 1 stations and abuse it. But if a town center is at a certain level, that unlocks the ability to fast travel between it and another one that you're currently already a part of. I'll put a footnote for that. Maybe lock it behind a certain level. Okay, good. Alchemist Station near lab is the only thing without a proper station. No comment. No comment. How about something like the raid meals from WoW? You can cook a big meal and place people can eat together from it. Oh. A super meal. Okay. I like that. I like that. Very good idea. Can you imagine coming to your town and someone's just made like an entire hot tub sized macchiato? Like just one gigantic macchiato that everyone can just walk up to and just dip your hands into it, scalding hot. Be funny. No, not a jib soft, just one big macchiato. Give me a lab for my alchemist skill, please. And daggers. You will get your daggers one day. Rent a jib? Elaborate. Paul, rent a jib for what? An icon on the map for the meal that everybody can see. Okay. Expanding upon Blawball's idea. I like it. Okay. Just taking notes right now. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. I love it. Love it. Good notes. Coreborn merchant game? What do you mean? I already personally saw to it that happened. Did you not see my tweet? Did you not see my Instagram post? I already took care of that for you. Jib to farm for you or better from me with bad fighting skills as a fighting companion. I'm not sure if a Jib would be a good fighting companion to have. First and foremost. Why am I not wearing merch? I didn't order it yet. I gotta figure out what I want too. Because a couple of the hoodies that I saw only have the design on the back. And I kind of want it on the front. Which is unfortunate. Order it on stream right now? No way. I'm not giving you complete access to all my financials for free. That's what spam email is for. I watch Mr. Robot. I know how this works. You got one on the front, but you got it from the EU page. It is hella comfy. Yeah, you went all out on your purchase. Something to ride? Dark Robosaurf. I don't suppose you might be referring to a little thing called mounts, are you? Are you talking about the ability to have a mount? To ease your travel around Ambrose, you can go gallivanting between mountain places and marshes and open fields. Interesting. If you look on the Coreborn roadmap and you look at early access quarter 2, quarter 3, you will see that mounts is currently WIP. Not soon, but WIP. So mounts is definitely something to look forward to in the future. Again, I gave you all the link right there so you can follow along in case you haven't looked at it in a while. If you start porting around towns yet, you make everything useless. True. I think one way to solve that would be if you only allowed one connection. Like maybe one link between 2 towns. So if you can join a max of 5 towns, which you can, or create a maximum of 5 towns, maybe you link it so only 2 of the towns can link. That way you can't link to all 5 towns. Something to think about. Okay, cool. What else? What else? I'm thinking I said this, I think, a few streams ago, about 3 months ago. I would still love it if you were able to have a weapon display. So if you had 5 weapons, you could put them up on a weapon rack and it physically showed the weapons on the wall. And if you walked up to them and clicked them, it would tell you the weapon and the stats. And you would click again to confirm it to take it off the wall and equip it. And you could put it back whenever you wanted to. It would also save on storage space and crates and make it easier to create an armory for people who are new to the game or new to your town. You could tell them to go take your pick. Could also organize it where you have a room where one side of the wall is all crit, one side of the wall is all stamina, and so on and so forth. So if you're looking to tailor your build towards a certain idea or fighting style, you could do so by choosing the weapon on the wall. Yeah. I'll put that down as everyone. You know that Fallout meme? Everyone disliked that? Everyone likes this. Everyone. Weapon, armor display. So me personally, I'm nosy. And a lot of the games that I play where people have on different armor sets or certain fireflies or certain weapons, I think it's cool when you can examine other players. I think it's cool when you can examine other players and you can't look at their inventory, okay? And just saying that ahead of time, don't be weird, but you can see what they have on in terms of the armor they have and the weapon, what level it is. And I think if we implemented that system, you could start doing things like including titles. So if I were to check, let's say, I check blah blah, there'd be no level, obviously, but it would say, oh, it's blah blah. And blah blah is currently wearing Orapower armor. Okay, all rare. And I'd be like, that's cool. And it would say Orapower's title is Grisbane because you slaughtered 1,000 Grizz. You monster. And then maybe even tells you how many towns they belong to. That could be kind of neat. If the player wanted to display it, it would give you a mark on the map to where their town is, in case you wanted to go and see it for yourself. I think that would be really useful. Please don't. If you do the check your mate thing, Grace would never shut up about me slapping blue stuff and not proper gear. Oh, well, Shark, we could implement the ignore feature where you don't block someone and they're still in your town and they're still in your friends list, but you can mute them until you unmute them in game. Something to think about. I'm back to bother you for 20 minutes. I couldn't ask for a better gift, honestly. But what do you all think? Would you like it if there was an ability, if there already was a pitch for that on the Discord? Is there, Spata? Is there a pitch for that on the Discord already? Is it in the ideas section? I would like to see it. Oh, the armor stand thing. Oh, about the armor display. Yeah. For sure. Yes. What else? Thinking. Great minds think alike. Indeed. A little GMTA. I think my personal thing as a player and as CM is I want more reasons to go to Coreheim. And the reason why is because people who are not directly involved in the Discord, people who are not on high population servers, and people who aren't part of massive friend groups. Because not everyone can be popular, like FM Shimmer or Grish. Coreheim can be that social hub where you meet other players and see other players. And so I would love to see more people in Coreheim on the regular. Now, so far, there's been a direction for that because we have the 1-star vendors are currently in Coreheim. CTC, Capture the Crown, is also in Coreheim. And the exchange for the crystal is also in Coreheim. And whenever we do an event, that vendor is also in Coreheim. But I think that's not enough. I like idling in places like that. So whenever there's a social game like that, I like just being in the city to be with other people. And so I want a reason to be in that city as well. I'm alone on my server, but I'm waiting for the building update to join another. I'm sorry, pal. I hope that you are alone no longer very, very soon. A bulletin board for notes for the play on your server. Yeah. I'm not sure how apt we are about revealing the information of players on your server. But Shakira, to that point, that is one of the reasons why I wanted there to be a patch notes bulletin board in Coreheim. Because it kind of builds the habit. It makes you understand that if I have not played in a long time, I go to Coreheim, I check bulletin board, and I can see all the updates, all the patch notes. And the first time I do it, I go, oh, cool, I didn't know you could do that. I don't play for a month, I come back, I go again. And now I'm used to it. And now other players are used to it. And now whenever someone logs in, everyone goes to that location. And now you see other players. And now you're all gathering. And now people are typing things like, hey, anyone want to join my server? I need a server to join. But it happens because everyone's there for the same reason. You know? I guess sometimes the feeling that I'm always alone in Coreheim. Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that, Dark. I don't want you to be alone in Coreheim. I want you to be a legend. I want you to walk into Coreheim and everyone goes, hey, hey, hey. Hey, look who's here. It's Dark Robazorf. What's up, Dark? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Hey, everyone. Dark's here. You know what I mean? I want that for you. Yeah, there you go. Big eyes. You know what I mean? Yeah, that kind of fanfare. Nobody is alone in Coreborn. Very true. Very true, Grace. Good stuff. I like that. Yeah, but these are all good ideas. These are all good ideas. And these are all things that I think about when I'm looking at Coreborn and all the things that I like to see in the area. Maybe to your point that you had earlier, Paul, maybe completion builds for NPCs for just your server. Maybe there is an NPC who will sell you very specific schematics or recipes, like Grish said, vendor recipes, but only if you help them rebuild their property. So you come and give them materials, and then it levels it up, and then again, and then when it's finally fully leveled up, it becomes present on just that server alone. And that NPC becomes a gathering place for players. Could be neat. Almost like, not really a daily, but kind of like a daily or a weekly. For example, if you go all the way to the east, about south of the shipwreck, where the small abandoned watermill camp is. There's a poor dude who's mining by himself in a little hole in the wall, and he's counting down. You know, he's like 14, 13, 12, trying to meet his quota. What if you helped them mine? And then in exchange, you got something. But you couldn't do it every day. Once a week, you help them mine, and they give you something in return. Something that could save your town up to half a year in case you got a longer period where you cannot play. I like that, Sharkidia. Dr. Sharky. Bless you. My cat sneezed. Little kitty cat sneezed. Like that. It was so cute. Okay. Perfect. I also like the idea that we as a community create something across the server so that later in a few years you can tell your new friends I've been a part of building exactly this bridge or watchtower. For sure. Ooh, you just gave me a great idea, pal. You just gave me a great idea. How about one of the cross-server community builds can be a giant watchtower in several locations to help light up the areas of the night. So you have your lantern, your torch, right? And you have your azure fireflies you can use to help see in the nighttime, right? What if there were watchtowers with spotlights or giant obelisk, giant torches that you could group server build, and when built, it helps illuminate that area in the dark. It's still dark, but it's like someone had a giant torch in the air that helps illuminate that area. Oh man, how cool would that be? So dark is the night and it's still terrifying, but in certain areas, like especially near bandit encampments or near the Moss Seas, you could go out there, and if your server contributed, at least it would be a fairly well-lit area. Whether it was a giant torch or a giant watchtower or even a giant lantern. That's an area you could navigate with ease because everyone contributed towards it. That's a good idea. We did that, pal. We did that. I like that. That's a really good idea. Good idea. Pow, high five. Up top. Good work. I'm not smacking your head, I'm high fiving you. If your head's in the way, put your hand up instead. How about we free the main city of Ambrose in the south? Why? Why? What up, Ryan? Why not? Counterpoint. I also thought it might be a cool idea to use this mechanic to unlock new patches, jointly digging the tunnel to the liquid metals. Thanks, high five. Yeah. Thanks, high five to you too, man. No, these are good ideas. I like this. This is very good. We are currently discussing ideas, Ryan, from the community about things that we would love to see added to Coreborn. Reasonable things of interest, things of note. Like Blawball suggested a raid meal. You can cook a giant meal and place it so everyone from the town center can take part in it. Blawball asking about the update to the Darkest Night soundtrack. Grouped resources. Interactable furniture. Weapon armor display, which has been a thing for quite some time. You got one for me? All right, let's hear it. Playable instruments utilizing MIDI files. Tower Unite does that. And they just implemented that. Tower Unite has a new functionality where you can go across there and have a whole band. Keyboard, guitar, bass guitar, drums, piano. And you can upload sheet music or MIDI files to autoplay it. Maybe, yeah. I was kind of toying around with that idea. Not the same thing, but the same way that Final Fantasy XIV has Orchestrion roles and Orchestrion stations. It'd be nice if you can control some kind of system of music, at least in your town center. So if you want to sit around in your town center and listen to Dane's music all day long, you could do that. You could walk in, turn on your jukebox or your record player, your gramophone, and start listening to music. Personal files, MIDI files, I don't know. At the same time, you'd have to make it so it was only heard by you, because I'm not sure how happy everyone would be if you were wandering around the night, you know, and someone's town center was nearby, and you're already terrified because bandits are nearby and it's dark, and you hear, dig through the ditches and burn through the witches and sand in the back of my Dracula, dig through the ditches, and you're like, man, what is that? My immersion. This isn't part of the world of Tormentosia. But no, I agree with the default music functionality. Yeah. Okay. Hold on, taking notes. I like it. Good stuff. Yeah. Could have the ability to mute for sure. That would be you, Dark. You're playing Dracula everywhere you go. Take the singing jib from the windmill. The rising sun. Only play within town borders. And as soon as you step outside, you can't hear it anymore. True. 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 It'd be funny if you had to set up the trigger as soon as you enter someone's town. You know what I mean? Like, imagine in the distance, you see a town border, and you're like, oh, a town. I don't think I've been there yet. And you're running. You're so excited to see another town. You look on the outside of it. What a cool looking town. And then the minute you step one toe into the town border, you just hear, I can't escape this hell. Boom, doo 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 doo. So many times I've tried. Boom, doo 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 doo. You're like, oh, whose town is this? A doorbell would be nice. Okay, so we're making jokes right now. But a chime that plays when someone enters your town actually sounds pretty cool. Something unintrusive. Something that's nice for the person entering and the person that's in the town. And short. Someone walks into your town, dun 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 dun. Just kidding. Don't play that. But yeah, that could be kind of neat. As town centers get bigger, it would be nice to know if someone's entered your town or not. Gotta find a way to keep it within the lore, though. Because to me, that sounds like the kind of thing I would expect to hear from a Steam Dwarf or a Nosmerian. A Nosmerian would have like a switch panel. Or like a laser field. A Steam Dwarf would have like a stone panel that compresses when you step on it. That does it. Well, blah blah, see? That's another thing. We're talking about the quality of life improvement in terms of having different audio settings, because I too love it when games don't just say master volume, sound effect, music. Because a lot of times games will group certain sounds into one category. So ambient music, music from vehicles, music from stores you go into, if the game has stores, all that falls under music. And I don't want all that to be turned down. I just want these two things turned down, but not this one thing. So I get it. Still with the building idea, don't apologize. How about upgrading the roads in your server? That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. Yeah, that's one of the notes that I had earlier. I would love that if you could build different pathways in your town center. So in my town center, in my town center, I have 4 different buildings. And 2 of them connect through an overpass. But I would love to have a pathway that I could set down, like Roller Coaster Tycoon, that leads you from one entrance to the other. So if you're in my town for the first time, you're not guessing where the doorways are. You just follow the path, and they automatically tell you where the doorways are. Or they tell you how to get out of my town and how to get into it. Now, the idea you had about giving you a speed buff if you stay on the road, that is something I had not considered. I do like that. I do like that. Oh, the roads from Coreborn and everybody else. Ah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe. That's it. We need doors. I do like the idea of doors. I also like windows you can customize. So right now, our windows are set up right now where in the way it's just the opening in a wall. But I want a window with glass. Or I want a window with shutters, wood shutters, that you can push open and close at your leisure. Cool. This is good stuff. Okay, good stuff. Cool. These are really good notes. I like this. Okay, cool. Well, it's been an hour plus, but we haven't done a proper session of gathering intel and ideas like this in quite some time, so I wanted to do that. And I think we got a lot of ideas out there right now and a lot of feedback. And for any of you who are shy, or for any of you who have ideas and they're not coming to you right now, or if you think of one later on, please make sure you go to the Discord. If you're not there already, please make sure you go there. And when you're there, just go to the Coreborn ideas section and put your ideas in there. Because I'll tell you what, recently I posted in there about events and holidays. And if you would like to see more, I posted in there. I posted it on social media as well. And I've already gotten a great deal of feedback about people who want events for Valentine's Day, people who want events for Sakura, cherry blossom season, and for Easter. And I've directly taken the information and giving it to the team. And we're thinking about it. So that's why it's so important for you to bring those ideas to the table, because you may get an Easter event now because you brought it up. You might get a Valentine's event because you brought it up. So the same thing takes place. Anything you can think of today, go to the ideas section of the Discord. You can ask in the chat section if you want to as well, and one of the mods can direct you and help you out that way. But just bring the ideas to the table so we can make this the best experience possible. There are some cool things that I've seen as recently as today that I know you all are going to love. Like, I'm so pumped for the things that are coming. You won't believe it. It's so cool. That's why a lot of times when I see all of you asking about things like, man, I wish Coreborn had this, or I wish they did this, or I don't know why they just don't do this. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I wish they would too. WIP soon is all I can say. Nice job, Dr. Sharky. I believe that's 3 bops. So Grease met his quota. Congratulations. You did it, Grease. That's the end of the stream. So for all of you watching from the VoD, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to tune in weekly to the Blankhans stream. You can do so every Thursday at good old-fashioned 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, or 7:30 p.m. CET. And stop by, bring your ideas, bring your fun. You can also look for it in the Discord in the events section, and we'll have it there. Thanks.